More matches. I'm liking it. Last over here, left side. Lucky Sound, right side. Kovaci, Okeanos. Kovaci, not that common of a unit these days, but I'm liking it. Right side, Secret Purse, Dark Aragorn. We've seen a lot of players that have Dark Aragorn actually go for it pretty early. Irrational on the side of less still. Also not super common these days, but definitely still a pretty solid unit throughout. Also, what I'm going to do for these is I'm going to be putting this part over yonder. Making it a little bit smaller because there the chat is not that big of an issue. Gianna, is that going to be a Swift Gianna? Ooh, Theodora is recently buffed. Everyone started picking her up and everyone already dropped her as well because she was not really doing what people were hoping to do. Only thing I could see on this draft is that Lest only has one AoE strip on this, which is the Aggression. If you ban off the Aggression, sure, you have 2 single target strips, which could do a thing or two, but I'm liking the draft on the side of Lucky Sound a little bit more, in all honesty. Okay, we're actually banning off the Kovaci. Interesting, though. Wait, is that... Oh, no, that's no speed lead over there. Ooh, does miss the connection there. Plus, the Secret is faster than any of the other units, which is also going to be bad, because this will give bar... Yikes, that is a nasty rotation right there. Yeah, Lucky Sound, if you land everything, ooh, with another Shatter going in, doesn't get that many defense breaks though. If you had more defense breaks, this Oath Breaker would be a lot more dangerous, but this one is making less look easy. Yep. I would say that the draft on the Theodora, like, it's not really adding anything to the table. Like, it's a CC unit, but it's bad at CCing, so it's therefore just a speed lead, but therefore just not really cutting it. So I would say well drafted by Lucky Sound, but the last draft definitely did not really work out over here. And he's making quick work of that. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, Theodora needs her attack bar absorbed back. I do agree on that. It's just, it doesn't add too much. Like, you need a little bit more flavor to that unit where now you're just a CC-ish unit with a speed lead, and that's about it. But if there's someone good at adapting to drafts, it is Lest. Plus, I've never seen Lest play with stacked pre-ban. I think he's definitely a great player for a stacked pre-ban scenario. But that draft was pretty mediocre. I still feel like the Erection, it doesn't add too much to the table. The other units he was adding to the table was also just... It was not enough value. Lest is getting swept. Yeah, he's really handing on that Kovaci, but the Kovaci, it has been bad out every time, and therefore speed contesting is just straight up gone. Lest is really not playing like so much of the meta stuff, also losing his Shio, which is kind of bad for him. Back to an Erection. Erection Oliver, you're definitely not going to be placing in the combo. I'm 100% sure that Lest just wants to have Tanjiro on Light, because Tanjiro on Light actually does have CC, whereas this Tanjiro, it's not that crazy, whereas that is a nasty draft on the side of Lucky Sound. If he goes for that Gojo plus a 5th pick on another CC unit, he's looking at a very... Oof, oof. Oh, look at this unit on the side of Lucky Sound. Add that in with your Gojo, and I think you're looking at a very nasty draft. Gonna go in with the Maya? Yo, this man cooking right there. Only thing is, do you have to respect that... Hey, gang, I think you can once again just respect the Kovaci. If you respect the Kovaci, sure, you don't take your full rotation on turn 1, but you'll be fine after turn 1. But Maya is also a crazy thing. We actually gotta respect on Maya as well. Big question right now, 33 leads. No, that should be... Well, if this Laura is swift, Laura will be faster. But I think this Kovaci is eating the best runes that Lest has on speed. Side of probably Shio and stuff. So Kovaci should be taking first turn. So we should at least get a full rotation where Okeanos has full damage potential. Plus attack buff. Yeah, no, this might be actually a draft where Lest has the upper hand because of that Hey Gang must ban. Okay, you can just cleanly take out anything right now. It's gonna go for... Man, he lost them rotations right there on Vioprox, but he already took a turn regardless. Okay, if it works like that, I can see that unit being strong. Okay, that is how it's supposed to work. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Only thing, I'm surprised that the Kovaci wasn't banned off just yet. Because on the next stack pre-ban, Lest is 100% losing that Kovaci. But okay, these guys are just clapping each other super fast though. Finally, it's more than a Triana. Finally. You have that one right moment. Sometimes it happens. But this case, this match was very much given to you by Vioprox. Gurkha Vioed on the right moment. Viva Chow Vioed twice on the right moment. Gurkha Vioed twice on the right moment. This thing is gonna add more insult to injury by also Vioing. Okay, no, it was the other unit. This match was a little bit given by you on Vios. God damn it. Yeah, that was a hefty Vio issue right there. Last always losing to some bullshit. Yeah, the last one was kind of bullshit. I felt, once again, Lucky Sound drafted well in 1 and 2, but 3, 4, 5 drafts were kind of mid. Once again, Dark Aragorn on them first picks. We have seen a lot of Dark Aragorn these days. It's pretty common unit for a lot of these players. Wait, ain't no way you're doing a Fire Stark. What? The man locks in a Fire Stark first pick? That ain't no Wind Stark, that thing fire. Are you trying to Ramagoss someone down? What is even that? Yo, that's a crazy work right there. He's just handing the draft to Mart right now. Also going in for a Xingzi first pick. That's pretty insane. Okay, we're gonna go for some insane picks right here in the first place. The only one that makes sense is Shiho. And you locked in 4 so far. Okay, you take that away. The only one that made sense you actually took away. What is even that? What is this draft on the right side, man? I have no clue what I'm looking at. The Anova kind of makes sense, but then again, not really. Cadiz, I really like the Cadiz on the left side, actually. With those team-ups, that's not bad. Maybe he might be colorblind. Well, if you're colorblind, I would always hover on the character to just see. I do know some players back in the days, like, God, who was it? Island Grown. Island Grown said he was colorblind and he could not tell Chow apart from some others, so he always hovered the character to see who it was. Why do you want to go Leo into this? Wait, what? The enemy has 3 units, even 4 units on attack bar gain. You yourself barely have like 1, which that draft on the right side is the weirdest draft I've seen in a while. Well, Sean B did call him out as being free-to-play friendly. That draft, very free-to-play friendly. That part he didn't lie about. That's very true right there. But that's some interesting draft right there. But what the hell is this Leo ever gonna do? Who are you gonna push back? Megumi? Like, what? Okay. Where do the hits go? Everything goes into 1 unit. Ooh, could you clearly take that out? Stark doesn't have any proper damage improved stuff going on just yet, but this is a heavy damage on... Wow, that was some nasty damage over there. Well, goodbye, Leo. At least you're not landing those. That does kind of make sense. Not too much damage from a first rotation skill on that. Is he gonna go for the pure RNG? I drafted weird shit, so now I get my great RNG and I would proc on every turn. Apparently not yet. But that Cadiz just hits pretty hard, though. Also, Fire Stark ban. Yes, you're correct. Why? I have no clue, man. Sometimes I see drafts and I'm like, I have no clue what's going on in this game. And this is definitely one of those. Shown BY, that's... maybe. I have no clue what's going on. Uh-oh. That's going to be a good old Megumi stun. It's funny to see where Megumi got nerfed pretty heftily on his whole passive. And he's still one of the most big speed leaders out there. Like, most big speed leader right now, I would claim to give to Oliver. But second most is most likely still Megumi. Third on Vanessa. Do we go for Sleep Trains trying to kill things? Ain't no way that you're winning from this point on, though. Because these 2 units are never gonna kill Windstark. Plus, Windstark is just gonna rock more and more damage. Unless you perma-stun the Windstark on skill 1's low activation rate right now, I don't really see it happening anytime soon. Probably because he's good into Oliver. Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely does make sense. And we have some ambush. Yeah, this draft was the weirdest draft I've seen all day. And I think if they will go for a pretty hard job to overtake that one for being weird drafts. Well, H-Frog has won the China qualifier when there was only 1 person going through on the China qualifier before. The man had a freaking Lima, which is arguably best unit in game right now. And he's first picking Fire Starks, Savannahs, Xingzis. Brother is trying to cook, but he's burning down the whole freaking building, man. I'm liking at least the Heigang. Heigang, Savannah, double Beast Rider. Man, we're going back like 2020 or something. That's some old school shit. Lock in the Barbara by all means. Let's see what kind of answer does he have. At least the Heigang pairs well. I'm happy to see the Heigang. Swift Leo trap 300 speed next. Yep. Oh, draft on the left side is once again nasty. It's a pretty nasty draft right there for stuns and just damage output. I kind of like the Shiho because either the Shiho or the Heigang becomes a must ban. Only issue is that your enemy will go for an Athena moment you lock in a Shiho and then Heigang is banned. This should be an Athena pick right here. Ban on that Heigang. Athena would take first turn. Well, then again, you probably also lose your Athena in the process, but at least the ban part gets a little bit harder. Brother, you already have 2 spear leads. I guess. No. What? Light free run? What the fuck is this? Who looks in a light free? Well, at least we got to see the light free run go RNG. What? That is a light free run right there. What is she supposed to do? Bro, these people are drunk. Did I wake up on 6 a.m. for this? These guys having the craziest of drafts, man. Wait, light free run is also full on speed? What the? But why? She's swift? Did you think you ruined up the water free run or something? Water free run would have been great. You would have taken out the unit. It doesn't even send... Ah? Well, that kind of makes sense. Wait, why are you not going to go for the... Okay, you were trying to get an irregular turn order. Why are you hitting wrong elements? Why are you miscritting? What is going on? I'm questioning my life choices by this point. Like, holy shit. I have no clue what's going on. I have also no clue how we ended up being full team stunned right now. I have no clue what's going on. We're miscritting on Mashas. We're landing wrong element Savannahs. We're stunning whole teams. And we're looking at a free run that does absolutely nothing. Miscrits again. How much crit rate do you have on that Masha? Like, if you're early picking Masha, like if you're late picking Masha and you just make her a counter to Nombara, 85 crit rate, totally fine. Totally fine. But if you're early picking Masha, you need to have 100 crit rate. It is a must. Like, wow. This is some crazy best light free run showcase ever. I think he wanted to get that unit buffed and he's doing a good job. Thank you. He's taking a lot of time with his first 2 picks. He's searching for something weird, I'm telling you. Back to a Savannah. Well, if your best runes are on a Savannah, it's not the worst of units, but Savannah into a Megumi first pick? I have seen better picks out there. Gojo, Laura. That's some good units right there. Lucia, that's too early for Lucia. I'm loving myself a Lucia, but not that early. I would rather go an offensive pick in 3 and keep the Lucia 4 or 5, because you don't have to go for that much of an early pick on that. Because right now, sure, Lucia can go for heals, but the only actual pushback is Gojo, so you're not really countering that many pushbacks in the first place. Plus, there's just so much room for left side draft to go in with bruiser units right now. Not sure if I'm liking that Zhongshan Lao as much in this position, but it works. Quillin Slasher. Not necessarily against it, but also not sure if I'm really for it in this case. Isn't that just a simple Shiho ban? You take first turn, you start stunning things, kind of. Jaeger starts cleaning things up, so therefore you probably lose your Jaeger in this draft. Once again, H-Frog drafting weird stuff. Jaeger's gone, okay. Well, that's fine as well, because a Swift Gojo and even a Violora on 28 lead should outspeed Swift things. If you're fast, though. But if you have Gojo and Laura, I would crank so much speed on that Laura. My Laura on Fire would outspeed any Swift unit. That would be absolutely a thing. Yep. Oh, he needs the pushback, actually. Pushback is nerfed, but oh, you only have to connect 1. Did connect 1. Think you could... Well, yeah, no, it's actually a fine choice to go for skill 2 at the start. This thing could be annoying if it lands a lot of stunts. Did actually land good stunts. Quillin Slasher is actually cooking over here. But Gojo will move in front once again. Therefore, I would say that starting off with a skill 2 on the Laura was probably a bad take. Starting off with a skill 3 would have most likely done more, because now you were sending stun on stun. Now you don't have a stun in this rotation, which is kind of bad. Doesn't take it out. Oh, you have to go for the extra hit. Doesn't go for the extra hit as of yet. This Gojo should potentially outspeed this Savannah still with a speed lead or speed buff. Yup. Well, both. You have to dehorse. Yep, dehorse stuns. The Quillian Slash is actually the only thing keeping in the match so far, though. It's not doing too bad of a job. Yeah, adding in a Zhongcheng Lao where you already have a counter to stuns is maybe not the best of things. I think that Mart could also have made a better rotation on using a Laura skill 3 early on rather than S2. You're still rocking them damage. Hey, that's the thing, man. H-Frog, you just gotta draft some meta units like Shiho. They will carry you. Well, actually, I would say this match is more carried by the Quillian Slasher on water. Which definitely a unit I have ruined as well. I don't use it as much, but it's definitely one of those things you want to keep ruined. Lucia on Fio. I've seen some more people do it. I'm not a big fan. That is a unit. It's written all over her face that she wants to be triple revenge. Because what's the reason that you want to Fio proc on her? Get more skill 2s in? You don't care. You're just there for the passive and skill 1. But H-Proc on the victory. Savannah first pick. It's just, it feels weird, man. It feels weird. Well, funny enough, is Savannah currently in the strongest stage she's ever been in because of the lead now making sense? Nah, she was still stronger where she cleansed on going on dehorsing. Early Zhongcheng Lao? You have seen your Zhongcheng Lao be pretty hard punished, though. Go light free run again. Well, I got a thumbnail over there. Thank you for that. That's an easy one for a video. Ooh, okay. Chandra segment style. That actually does signal back to less style back in 2023. Was rocking a lot of Chandra plus segment. And let's see if Mart goes for more stuns, because then you could easily end up with the Lucia plus Quillian Slasher again. That's more stuns right there. Yeah, one more stun. Ooh, that's just once again. You just go for the Lucia and Quillian Slasher again. Yeah, you were just beaten by this unit. You were just beaten by these two units. You were just, what? What is this? You were exactly beaten by that. You lock in same thing, man. Brother, what? That's the most 5th pick ban I've seen in my life. Yeah, GG's right there. Yeah, that looks like it. Man, imagine getting beaten by a 1st pick Fire Stark into 1st pick Savannahs. Some insane shenanigans right there, man. Also, what is this Nyx doing on this draft in the first place? I feel like some people are just overspamming Nyx. Wait, we're even banning off the Savannah? You thought that was your biggest problem? What? You thought that was your biggest problem? That's an interesting take. That is definitely an interesting take right there. Yeah, you... Wait. Ah? You have an AoE defense break with a potential 2-unit stun sitting in front of you. You're gonna reset the Nyx? What are you resetting the Nyx for? It did not land in the end, but what are you resetting the Nyx for? You have a 3-turn defense break that you cannot cleanse off. I'm resetting the Nyx. Like, what do you think to reset? His passive? Like, what's going on these matches, man? These are some weird matches going in back and forth. Yeah, this man is gonna get soloed by the Zenitsu, and you can't do anything against the Lucia. And rough time, man, rough time. Nah, try to stun it. Nice, nice, good stun. You almost stunned it. You might as well save the skill if you did not have anyone else to stun. Yeah, there's no damage on this bottom side draft, plus no sustain. That's often the big issue with the Nyx draft. You have no sustain, no damage. Where are you gonna get your kills from? Just FF? Yeah, this match is so super over. Like, even with H-Frog playing, it's pretty weird-ish, where he's spreading the damage left, right, and center. And he's trying to reset the passive on the Nyx or something. I have no clue. Okay, that's a something. But that is a something that doesn't help you that much, because you just give bar to this unit right here. At least the defense break is kind of sitting nicely. If you take out the Quillian Slasher with some miracle work, you might potentially have some chance of winning, but that's gonna be rough. If, okay. If you were crit rate on your Zhongcheng Lao, you would have actually taken that out, most likely. especially with an additional turn. But you're not on crit, so you don't. Wait, what are these guys doing? Why do you give your enemy this much chance to make a comeback? All you had to do was skill 3 on the Zhongchen Lao. These people are playing all over the place. These people are playing solo all over the place. You leash your Quillian Slasher for no reason. Why is this match even remotely close? I am so confused. Marty's gonna win this. H-Rock had the most free draft ever known to mankind that the whole chat was saying FF already. But Marty's gonna be winning with it because H-Rock is hinting. Also, no crits. I have no clue what I'm looking at. I have no clue what I'm looking at. Also, Sackman is just straight up selling these matches. At least there is revenge on it. There is 500, but at least there's revenge on it. It's revenging more than my triple revenge one is doing, in all honesty, but hey, that's... Also, why is Vanessa not on crit? Isn't it the most common thing out there for Vanessa first picks these days to crit? I think the most common thing out there for these players is just to Vio proc on every godforsaken turn they have. This was the weirdest match I've seen all day. Both of the players will be playing again. Let's see if they can make it weirder than this, because this was some... Wow. China's drafting on another level. I'm not sure if it's better or worse. It's actually funny, on the China day 1, there was a lot of double Stark. So Wind Stark plus Dark Stark. But then again, you have to have the Dark Stark for that shenanigans. Not everyone has that. I've been taking good 20 seconds on his first pick mostly does not signal good things. That signal 2 things. Either technical check or he has absolutely no clue what he's supposed to draft. It was the latter. He's like, what do I even do for a first pick right now? Yep, clean Starks right there. Once again, early Viva. It's a double-edged sword. It is a double-edged sword. Venton is one of your favorite Indras. Venton is still pretty nice, yeah. But I mostly like Venton next to a Greg, so you get the attack buff, speed buff. Because Venton additional damage on attack buff, speed buff is just insane. Geo on the side of Icon. See if you can make the comeback. Marsha. These guys like their early Marshas. Well, Marsha makes sense into Stark, but I kind of like it more into like Olivers and stuff. Because then you actually properly stack the passive. Early Devaraja, in my opinion, a little bit too early in this case. It's not the worst. Still enjoy playing Venton, Lamelia, Charlotte, draft on ladder. It's not a bad draft. It's actually a pretty spammable draft with the Eretion and the Chibuya. Dark Demon. Ooh, Valeska Dark Demon. I like those 4 and 5s right there. We haven't seen too many Valeskas in any of the SWCs. Great counter with a Gandalf. Gandalf and Angela are actually great counts into the Valeska, so therefore also respected. Most of the time, I think the most pre-banned, or yeah, the most post-banned units on anything is probably Dark Demon. Anytime Dark Demon gets in the 4 or 5 pick, it's nearly always banned out. Okay, you have to go for stun on the Viva Shell. You will have issues with this Josephine. Oh, so many resistance flying in. That's not a high accuracy monkey for sure. But he did manage to get a stun on one of the very last hits. We're going to be sending this as 2. Marsha would make a lot of sense. No, we're actually stripping the monkey right away. Interesting. Defense break, though. Yeah, that's why I would say Marsha made a lot of sense. I would even send this on Devaraja right now. Unless you want to push back and do chip damage. But I think you should send it somewhere else. Okay, still keeps it on there. Yeah, I just wanted to go for the kill. It makes sense to go for the kill, but if you were to be able to land it on Devaraja, your other units would have had such more of a free match right now. Whereas right now, Stark is going to mess you up, Devaraja is going to mess you up. Stark will go for a strip because he's not a great stripper, but he can still definitely land that strip. And now Devaraja has potential to take over this match. Marsha could still make a comeback, but it's a little bit rough. How much damage is this thing dealing? Not that much. Good bit of chip, but not that much. Defense break early there is pretty nice. But still, 2-turn provoke, whole team, that's just so much provoke. Great stun though. But 2-turn provoke, and you're also, everything that you hit into that provoke, you're just getting reflected on, which is just kind of annoying. Just losing so much chip HP. Great stun over there, though. But that's also the thing. Stark is getting more and more dangerous. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nuclear nuke coming in. And it came out. That hurts. Yeah, I think that your pre-ban on that Wedget did not really matter that much. You just got murdered by Stark twice in a row. So the Wedget did not really utilize with that. Unless you go crazy procs. No crazy procs. Yeah, that's GG icon. That is GG right there in my books. Ain't gonna make it work from there. Still had to respect Mr. Tony Stark, aka Rob Stark, aka whatever Stark. Would you turn into a Valeska Sperma if you were to pull one? Probably not. I would still go Valeska 4-5, not early. Here on the first pick of Mr. T, Viva Chell early. I do like them Viva Chells early if it is against the Shio. Stark ally Irene right away. Brothers just locking in them ally Irenes, man. Haven't seen too many Sonya plays out of anyone in China Day 2 so far, but I would like myself a speed lead Sonya right now. But then again, ally Irene, if you spam it, it's probably Sonya proof. Like, there's only one thing you can rune on them, either Res or Sonya proof. Narsha! Ooh, Big V has crazy good runes, though. That Narsha could do a lot of damage. Gianna, it's not signaling too much speed contest, though, whereas this Irene is probably on Swift. Shio Swift, so you already have 2 units outspeeding you, so I'm not sure if Big V is not gonna hand first turn a little bit too much towards the enemy. Fire Legolas, that doesn't add shit. Oliver, yeah, you're looking speed leads, but the thing is where Big T can go for a double speed lead right now. Megumi, Oliver combination. Not a big fan of that bike over there. It kind of makes sense, it's overall bruiser-ish, but I could see Big V now locking in a speed lead. Only issue is if Big V locks in a speed lead, he's gonna lose that speed lead right away. But on the other side, it's most likely Oliver ban. I think the Narsha and Gianna is a little bit too much of the same thing on same speed levels rather than contesting. Okay, we're gonna go for Gojo. Okay, that's an Oliver counter right there, so Oliver makes it to the field. Are we then banning out the Irene or Ella or something? Because then the bike actually becomes decently in the draft. Not too sure about Big V's draft. It's too little speed contests for these units. Well, then again, Viva Chell could say something about that, but does she even take a proper turn? Ella's gone, Gojo's gone, okay. Interesting respect on the Gojo as well. But this Oliver kind of has a free match right here. It could be that Big V is not going to be participating in this match. He might be as much as a viewer as we are. If the Oliver and Irene and the Shio do their job properly. And it seems to be that that is a Swift Irene. First connecting the stuns. Yes, sir. Gotta be landing this on the Gianna. Yes, sir. This S2. You could go Stark. Goes for the Narsha. So Stark can have potential for AoE provokes, which could take everything in an off turn. Which is not the worst. And Narsha still skill 1 does do good. She doesn't care as much. Ooh, that's actually nasty as well. There's so many buffs and you only throw... you get slow defense break yourself because you're a Narsha. Oh, that's actually nasty. That is actually nasty. And you don't land on the Oliver, that's bad as well. That is pretty darn bad as well, yeah. Big V is as much as a participator on this match as we are, unless this Starks goes ham later on. Did actually land the wrong element, though. Ooh, that's just a very fast file. I was expecting with that much more bar than your Oliver, on a slower unit than an Oliver, to be on Swift. But then again, if you're spamming Ally Ring, you might as well drop both of them on fire. That's actually very true. And Gianna not getting any skills. Don't have any skills available as of yet, and you're also glanced, so still probably not gonna really make use of this that much. Resist over there. Is that a 100 res Oliver? It kind of looked like a 100 res Oliver if also the Stark was missing on it. Yeah, we still have that skill 3. At least we have to send it on the Stark right now, but I think we got another alter ego coming in. Early defense break is nasty for damage. I would have almost opted to take out the Stark right there, but then again, this Irene is fast though. That Irene is very fast. It's 33 lead right now, but that's fast. But also the combination Shio with Irene S2, that's actually way more nasty than I thought it would be. Because normally you can kind of strip it off-ish something, but now you have 4 buffs stacked on one another. There's no stripping anything in that kind of sense. Also, big question is, I think stack pre-ban is definitely going to favor Big V in this one. Because if your Ella Irene carried, yo, first match, Ella gone. Second match, Irene gone. Good luck after that. Let's see how you draft after 2 more stack bans. But yeah, this match, Big V was definitely not really participating. I think that FIFA also doesn't have any skills available, or does she? Nope, no skills. Yeah, that seems to be an Oliver 100 res, in my opinion. Doesn't take it out, though. Yeah, that's definitely 100 res. Otherwise, you would have done more damage. Stark is here still to play. Yikes. You landed off element, but not the correct element. Okay, that was a lot of all right there. GG's. That was a lot of all right there. Stark kind of gave it a try, but ain't gonna happen. Some Rampage coming in. Seems to be high resistance on this Vivacho as well. Well, Vivacho is relatively easy to build on high resistance and high crit rate. Her base stats are pretty decent. But yeah, that was GG from the draft. But then again, I think Big T is just gonna lose Ella, is gonna lose Irene in the stack pre-ban, and then it should be a lot easier for Big V. Okay, full stack pre-ban. Nash on the pre-ban, okay. Oliver on the side of Big T. Big V already lost most of the LDs. Going back to Mr. Stark. We go back to a Miles Raccoon kind of style. We're getting buff in the next balance patch. Man, next balance patch is gonna be far away. And also not sure how close the next balance patch is to actual cups. I think it might be just before like APAC region or just before America's Cup or something. So I don't really expect too much in that balance patch in the first place. The next balance patch I expect more from is probably like the November balance patch. Just after EU, right? Yeah, it might be just after. Yeah, EU is on the 26th of September. Yeah, it should be probably the week after. Yeah, exactly. It should probably be like 28, 29 of September. That would make sense. And then I think October has APAC and Americas. And then 14 November has World Finals. And then after 14 November, I think there might be another Siege tournament or something. And then we have potentially a bigger balance patch. But that should be November. Actually, Big V, we haven't seen him play any Kovaci plus the Tanjiro, which was shown in his most played. I am not sure about this Smicer pick as well. I am not too sure about that neither. Why would you not pick a second speed lead? Is that just not an Oliver ban right there? Okay, Kovaci is gone. How much is this Smicer gonna do? That's gonna be an interesting one. Where are all these Assures coming from? Assure is one of those units where you don't want to commit to doing damage, but you still want to be all-round and healing. Assure is really a unit I don't want to lose this match, so therefore I go a little bit all-round. That's the perfect example of what an Assure is. Ooh, great silence 2 turns right there, right away. Are we gonna try this on the Tanjiro, though? Yup. Yup, full connecting. Okay, at least we can do that, but the Angela's fast enough. Angela spammers are smart enough to put their Angela faster than the rest of the unit, so it can cleanse if a unit cuts in. Yep, not wasting your S2 is a good play from Big V. But big issue is that we're looking at way too long silences on about everything right now. Ah, Oliver is doing a Rexus. I'm gonna call that an Oliver doing a Rexus right now, man. That Oliver of Rexus was inting way too much. Layla could potentially still get enough turns in at some point. Okay, glancing is nice. Additional turn is nice as well. Gives you a chance to get back towards skills. Smicer is definitely going to be a bit annoying because those silences that he lands are long. Can you even push back the Smicer enough in this case? No, it's just going to go for the bike. Makes sense. Well, silence on the Stark is not a big issue. Like, he's more S1 carried anyways than any of the other units. If he gets Tanjiro S3 off, if this Oliver doesn't proc, then Big V might be winning this. No proc over there. Okay, Tanjiro goes S3, S2, and then match might be looking pretty bad. Too bad no defense break. Defense break would have been nice. But also, Layla did not use any skills as of yet. So you're going to have a lot of rotation on a lot of skills plus slows plus everything coming in right now. No slow on the Angela would have been nice though, but can't have everything it seems. Tanjiro S2. 3 good damage. 22k. Additional turn. Uh-oh. This is also the moment where Tanjiro has the full passives activated for having skills on cooldown, which is always nice. I think that Big V should be having this match. The Smicer pick was kind of working-ish, but it was also not showing enough damage threat, though. Tanjiro is definitely a cool looking character in this. I'm definitely a fan of the light Tanjiro. If I had light Tanjiro, I would absolutely use it. Also because I have to pair with the Woyong, which light Tanjiro makes very nice. Can't take it out just yet. This thing goes for proc. I can't go for proc anymore. Rips. Yeah, the cycling on that is definitely nice. The only thing is Tanjiro is hard to rune because you need max crit rate, you want crit damage on the 4, and you still want some accuracy while being tanky, while being fast enough, while being everything. The only stat you don't need is resistance. Yeah, Big V moves on to the next round. Nice. Once again, we're going for Dark Aragorns. I've seen a good bit of those so far, so let's see what H-Frog can do. He's gonna go back to the Fire Stark. We haven't seen the Fire Stark at all, though. But what is the plan of the Fire Stark? If you get reset on the Fire Stark, what's the point of this unit? You're drafting it into an AoE reset. Last time it was respected and banned out. Maybe these guys know something I don't, but I hope they know more than I do. Because I have no clue on this combo right now. Also, a Seiishizo into a Laura is really bad. It's also really terrible into a Jet. Because just too many buffs, you're not going to get any stuns off. So Lucky-san is looking at a solid draft. I do like them Shios. Has potential to outspeed anything on the field thus far. But you got to be locking in a second speed lead. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Minato, it's not bad against all of these AoEs coming in. Is he going to go for... That's a nice bit of LDs right there. Not exactly what I would have drafted because it's super open to Heigang and Heigang becomes a must ban. So I'm not too sure. Vamp units are not great into death buff. That's very true. Douglas does struggle into a Laura as well, mainly because of the death buff. You're just not vamping as much. That's very true. But then again, there's a defense break potential, so that evens out the battlefield, which is not that bad. And Laura defense buff is not super long, but the Wadjet is. Wait, we're gonna... Are we really not fearing a Heigang on your Gianna right now? Are we really one of those? Well, also, maybe we're just not fearing the Fire Stark at all, which is understandable, but... Or he was expecting Laura not to be banned, but yeah, this is kind of an issue scenario right there. And the issue scenario is pretty darn big. At least there's AoE Provoke on that unit, that's true. Imagine losing to a Fire Stark. Uh-oh. Oathbreaker's coming in. Not that much cooldown increase on the Minato, but good enough. I have seen it a lot more Vio Minatos. I'm not sure if I'm a fan though, but I have seen it a lot more for people going Vio Minato, and it's mainly to cycle back into the protected state as much as possible. And then just be a Fire Bruiser annoying unit rather than I'm a solo vamp unit. Does have glancing. Does land on most. One unit can't land on. Yeah, this Minato so far has been pretty darn annoying, actually. Not sure if I should rune that thing on Vio as well. Wait, we are teaming up with... How is your Wadjet more attack than your Zhongcheng Lao? What are we teaming up with? Did I just see that correctly? Did I just see that correctly? How is it? What is your Wadjet attack base? Wadjet should have no attack base, right? What the actual freak was that? Ain't no way that was a thing. Wadjet has 637 attack base. He teamed up with that. That's so bad. Minato can be crazy when you proc at every given moment. That is true. You also need to proc at the right moments, but 25k on that. I have no clue how H-Frog is winning this. Well, I think more Minato carry than other units, but damn. Zhongxiao is just full attack. Well, if I would be an Aragorn spammer, I would make sure at least my Zhongxiao has some attack. It could be true where your fastest set is an attack 4 and attack 6 on Wadjet. That could be true. But then again, I would still kind of like, if I was an Aragorn spammer, I would still kind of change it out a little bit. Yeah, that could be a thing. But then I would probably also just go for a Zhongxiao that's more attack-based. Savannah on the first pick, once again. I'm not against these Savannah first picks. I'm actually somewhat kind of liking it. I'm not sure if it's really necessarily good, and I would draft it myself, though. But I'm definitely not against it. Lots of LDs on the side of Lucky Sound, similar to what he did against Lest. Also, I've seen a lot of secrets. But I've seen a lot of people play this Secret plus Megumi playstyle. It's just that Secret S3 is so random. Okay, Shio with the skills coming in. Secret moving right after. Gian on the stun. No stun on the Gian. Uh-oh. Oof. Issues. Issues. Quillen Slasher could do nice, but we're probably gonna say goodbye to a bunch of units right now. Sigurd Elsharian, more popular too. Yep. Tech definitely did spam a lot of that. Horn coming in, so Quillen Slasher is probably the one we say goodbye to. Ooh, you gave it a lot of bar though, so therefore the Switch of Destiny, the only thing you can actually throw it on right now is the Shiho, but therefore doesn't go for it. Actually, still pretty close match. Yeah, that's just a big Savannah issue. Savannah is nice, but Megumi, man. Megumi messes up that unit big time. Well, that's a dead Quillen Slasher already. Do we get stuns? We do get one stun, but not really the stun you were aiming for. If we get good stuns over here, very good stuns. Only issue is right now you don't defense break because your Sav S3 is conditional. And the condition is that you need to have more attack than the enemy. Okay, somehow still landed some defense breaks. Okay, the turnaround on this Savannah though. The turnaround on this Savannah, actually it's seemingly working. Yo, Savannah, I might be giving it some love as well. Like, I'm kind of getting the feeling for this unit. Especially with like a Gojo that I'm playing. Gojo Savannah sounds pretty nasty as well. That Sav has some fucking good set. Yeah, well, you better. I definitely do think it's an X6. Well, is it X6? You have 25 AK in the Awakening. You definitely would go crit rate 4 though. One turn was all it take. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you only need one turn on the unit that has that much disruption on it. Innate AK on every rune. Yeah, I think you probably go crit 4, attack 6. I would have rather seen a crit rate Awakening on Savannah rather than AK Awakening, in all honesty. Because the moment you go AK Awakening plus an X6, you're already overstacking AK. What do you think about Stack Ban was working out so far? Do you like it or not that much? I'm liking Stack Ban a lot. Every match looks fairly different. Like, sure, you have similar components, but in most cases, the draft is looking fairly different between one match and another. We're going back to this Fire Stark, man. Ain't no way. Ain't no way man is going to qualify with this Fire Stark going in. It did work out last match, but I have no clue why it actually worked. It also seeds out the one-trick ponies, definitely. But it also gives, like, for example, I would say Tech normally is kind of one-trick in Europe. Is match 1 and 2, he often did very well. And then sometimes in 3 and 4, he could still make a decent one going in. But you saw him struggle more. Okay, Segment. I haven't seen too much of Segment just yet. Also, Segment into Stark is not that much of damage output. Actually, none of these units, except for Fire Stark, potentially has that much damage output just yet. NFL. Also, funny enough, we haven't seen too much NFL, whereas Europe, NFL was like super hard spammed. I would say NFL and Shio are one of the most contested units in Europe. Over here, Shio is still pretty high contested, but NFL is not that much at all. Justice on Fire. We have seen a bit of that. Wasn't that played a lot in Korea? In Korea, I think that was played a lot. Still not sure if I'm a big fan of the unit. It can do a lot on that skill 3. Is it enough though? I'm not sure. Sheer Dark Aragorn were the most contested. Well, not everyone had Dark Aragorn, but everyone that was having Dark Aragorn was playing it. That's very true. Same over here. Mostly in like an early pre-ban as well. Okay, Pony is out. I'm very curious on this Fire Stark once again. It's such a weird unit in my opinion. But even though like any of the two players losing from this round still has like their lower side bracket. So they're not out just yet. But if they win this one, they're in for the China qualifier. Segment does connect their skills properly. Where are we going to send this, though? To no one. Nice. Very useful unit. Why the hell we even draft the unit to just use a skill 1? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Okay, at least slow on everything. Nice stun on the Stark. Heal blocks. Heal blocks on everything. Well, is she now gonna do the big thing while we draft her for? Yeah, I guess. With the additional turn, that definitely does help. Did not fully land though, but... I guess Fire Stark is more provoker than anything. And then a random skill 3. Uh-oh, stunned again. Yeah, I think that H-Frog might have this match. He's opting not to heal because he wants to do damage on the Fire Stark. I knew it. I knew it. He's gonna try to do the damage on this Fire Stark. Wind Monkey is doing God's work. Yep, true. Yep. Yeah, he's just trying to get the... Is he gonna one-shot this Wind Stark? Ain't no way, right? Ain't no way you one-shot this. Nearly one-shot to take the additional turn to kill. Imagine losing to a Fire Stark. You're losing to a Ramagod, man. You're legit losing to a Ramagod. What the hell is even that, man? What the hell is even that? Okay, back to the draft. That draft on the side of Big V is looking very European style. That is definitely the style that the Europeans were adapting to. The only thing that's missing is a Xiao on the field. I'm still not getting those heavy spams on the Viva Gels. Like, sure, it's a little bit of everything, but how about you guys in chat? Maybe it's just me being a Viva Gel hater, but I like Viva Gel if something else is moving in front, like a Shio. But I don't like these Viva Gels just like random core picks. It just doesn't add enough, in my opinion. It's just hoping for a good rotation on either a heal or a good rotation on a skill 3. But outside of that, you're a fucking Triana. I don't know. Just got Zenisek, companion on Zenisek. I like Zenisek as a 5th pick, but I don't like Zenisek early because of Layla issues. Well, the thing is, all of these SWC players pretty much have a Viva Gel as a fire unit, which makes a lot more sense for their playstyle. For Benny and Amo, having Viva Gel as the fastest unit makes a lot of sense because it's just a speed booster for them. How many more rounds? I think after this, there's still 4 more matches or 6 more matches. I think 6 more. I don't like these Viva. Sup, Obabo? Wait, Obabo, you're awake early as well. Holy shit. You push up Stark and then you swap? Yeah, that's true. I kind of like that idea, but most of the time this Viva is moving all the way first, so you don't really get the odds on that anyways. Wait, Stark on 40 to 50 AC? I've seen more Starks on 5 to 6 AC. Especially if you go crit damage, it's so hard to get crit damage and good accuracy on that unit. Okay, at least we have Gianna moving in front right now, which gives the Viva Gel an option to do... That's the thing, like, if you get a random perfect rotation because someone else just randomly outspeeds your ass, then it's good. But then again, it's also a luck factor where the Gianna just inted her skill in the first place. Rips, Megumi. Megumi took it for you. Viva Gel had a chance for a great turn, but then did not have a great chance for a good turn. Well, there's still good rotation-ish coming after if you don't crit. Not a single crit. Can you stun this? Well, then again, I would say that Viva Gel has more odds going for an S2 than an S3 at the moment. Do you cleanse Own Bomb? No, I would cleanse probably the Okeanos. Yep, makes a lot more sense. But then again, Okeanos could be facing another stun. Also, second time we see Maya being picked here today. First time we see it in the match. Last time was Postal Band, but interesting to have that unit in there. I also feel like that these guys in China just have more procs, man. The number ain't 22%, it feels higher. It could be a bias over there, but it feels higher. Ooh, stripping the right thing, getting the stun, does get the stun. High proc rates comes with their LD pity. They do not have an LD pity. At least I can guarantee you that I've never seen anything remotely close to an LD pity. And the thing is, people say it's like they don't show the LD pity, but the LD pity is there. For LD pity to be applying to all of the rules, they should show how much LD pity they're on at that moment. So therefore, there's no LD pity because they don't apply to that rule in the first place. So I can pretty much guarantee you there's no LD pity in China. They just spend more. And with spending more, I mean a lot more. Stark trying his best. Ooh, good rotation for the Gianna proc right there. That's a fast Gianna, though. That Gianna on the lower lead outspeed a Viva Gel on the higher lead. That's some nasty Gianna set right there, Mr. Big P. Or that Viva Gel is not that fast. That could also be a thing, but that's some crazy thing right there to do on a 100 base unit. Packs are more cheap, right? Yes, in China, in general sense, you have more discounts in China. I'm not sure about the pack sale in China right now, but back in the days, they had like a special shop where you just had like 50% cashback, which makes things a lot cheaper. Still anyone's game, kind of. Maya's not really been participating in this match whatsoever. If that Maya was a Juno, Juno would have taken over the match for sure. What the fuck, these procs? Yeah, I'm not even surprised about these procs anymore, man. Everything's just procking left, right, and center. Any match potential winning moment just comes out of procs with these guys. All for double off turn, though. Ooh, do we go for healing? Yeah, I guess we have to go healing. Gumi will have something to say about that, but hey, there's a Josephine for that reason. Drops the bomb. I think Josephine is the biggest issue right now. I have to take out this Maya. Otherwise Maya takes over. Did someone not get the memo of how Maya works? Why would you ask to that? Why would you ask to that? Man, I've seen so many questionable plays, man. Holy shit. I have seen so many questionable plays. But I had the same reaction yesterday when Glorious did S2 of Okeanos into the Jin. Like, I did not show it that much on the stream, I think. But I literally had, like, this kind of reaction as well. It's like, why the fuck would you do that? Oh, man. Yeah, some people are not getting the memos on certain units, man. Ooh, we also have a Firestark over here. It's not just H-Frog rocking in Firestark. Yo, Shambi is having a good day on all of these Firestark picks. I'm still not sure if I like it, though. I would never draft this freaking Ramagod unit myself. But then again, that Megumi pick might be pretty good as well. Double AoE Death Breakers into Inosuke and Windstark is dangerous. That's super, super dangerous. It's also funny, both of the players, or every time that the Firestark was drafted, it was drafted with the Xingzi. I guess that's a common combo that they like to go for. But is it that good, though? I'm not sure. It's also where Big V is going to take a lot of turns, but all of those turns are not going to matter or slash do that much. Well, maybe just trying to get the provoking on the Stark. Wait, that thing is actually super fast. I'm to the point, is that thing even violent at that moment? If you go for it that fast? Could that not be just a weird swift unit? Could be, I guess. Okay, at least that one is violent. We did establish that. Full resistance over there. Bring back some skills. Yes, 24 lead. Yeah, that's true, but even without the lead, like, I'm not comparing it to the enemy speeds, but more its own speeds of its own units. Okay, fighting a lot of immunity stuff right now. Can't really land anything. Did they release any code so far? No, no codes yet. I think there will be code after this match and then a code all the way at the end. A lot of hits being traded back and forth without any proper damage flying. Ooh, landing this on the Layla is very nice. So yeah, please don't have to care about the attack bar gain. There's a lot of good options to land this, but I think, ooh, missing that, that's big. That's actually really big. Because now, yeah, Layla's at 160 attack bar for no reason whatsoever once again. Layla attack bar gain is so stupid. Even if there's a Tian Lang on the field, that unit still gets full attack bars for no reason whatsoever. We're back at 170% attack bar gain. Skill 2, another 180% attack bar gain. Oh, not just 100 this time. Seems to be that Big V is losing this one. Unless this Firestar can have a great day at this one, but I'm not feeling that unit. I am not feeling that unit. We have seen H-Frog win it, but it is on Vio. That's a good waste of a Vio set right there. I would not drop a 190 Vio set on this unit. Ain't no freaking way. The fuck he even doing this weird Ramagas piece of shit over there on the field? That ain't no way worth my fucking 190 Vio sets. Just to try to get a chance of a good skill 3, nah. He does nothing. He has a good skill 3. He is Ramagod skill 3, but the thing is, you're just waiting for your skill to get off at the right turn where you're not stunned, where you have your skill available and not being reset and not being provoked and not being anything. 2-turn provoke, you're dead. You're hella dead. That unit doing nothing. We have seen it before with it was the H-Frog match against Lucky Sound, where H-Frog had half HP on his Fire Stark, did do 35k on a Wind Stark and took it out instantly. Then it's nice, but can you really bet on that? You have to be low HP, you have to be with cooldowns, and you have to be not stunned. Yeah, that's not really a good unit. Either Big V or Lest is immediately out. Damn! I think Lest has always made it to at least the China qualifier or the China Cup. Damn, that's a big oof right there. Should not have been picking up that Fire Stark, my mate, man. Should not have been picking that one up. That's a pretty early Elena, though. Well, he's not going for the Kovaci play. Zennisek. Okay, that's opening a lot of doors to a Layla right there. I wouldn't mind Les going for Speed Lead plus Layla, but Les definitely does not always play that. Already going into the loose bracket? Correct. Kovaci. Okay, we're going back to the Tanjiro draft. We have seen it twice being just outsped and completely annihilated. But also once that it had a good rotation where it actually did do a lot of work. Now, for all of the Asia qualifiers, they do the losers bracket on the same day, which is pretty chill. But therefore also pretty long casts. Gojo, okay, but you have a Gojo, but without follow-up. There's your follow-up, but either your Gojo is banned or your follow-up is banned. In this case, I guess follow-up is going to get banned. Are we going to go speed lead over here? I would definitely go speed lead on the side of Lest. Still ban out that Aragorn, though. What kind of speed lead does he like to go for? Oliver? Kind of feels off, because you cannot push back a bunch of these units. Ciao. That's not a speed lead, though. Lest is playing a lot without speed leads, and I'm not necessarily sure if I'm liking it. Respecting the Gojo. Okay. Could work out if you can control this Aragorn, but we have seen it with European prelims as well. The moment that Aragorn gets one turn off, it's immediately doomed. Oh. Well, if you're spamming a lot of Megumi, you should have your Megumi move in front of your other units. Because this is kind of bad. At least we're nearly taking out a Chow for no reason. Yeah, this Tanjiro is gonna have a field day with that. Oh, double cleanses everything away. Yeah, that was a lot of work for nothing. That was a lot of work for nothing. Can land the stun. Does not connect the stun. And also lose the immunity. Well, you can steal immunity from somewhere else. But you would have rather seen the stun over there. Is gonna send it. Doesn't get a threat state. Slow and everything is on it. Pushbacks. Yeah, the attack bar gain of this unit is insane. Like, if you have crazy runes, Tanjiro is so good. If I had a light Tanjiro, I would definitely be playing Wooyoung light Tanjiro. I don't think it's necessarily the best draft I can make, but it's a fun draft. If I were to do the same thing with a fire Tanjiro, I think Kovaci is a little bit more needed. Because then you have more protection. A fire Tanjiro needs the protection a little bit more because you don't have provokes. Yeah, he definitely really does like that Tanjiro play on Lest. And you kind of have to hit on that Diana, which is... That is 14k HP? It's a lot of HP on that Diana. That is a lot of HP right there. We're gonna go for Stark. I think you have to, right? Good damage as well, 4.6. That's one proper Diana right there. Early armor break and you kill. That's no armor break, so you don't kill. That's not useful. Man, this thing ate 214Ks and it's still on half HP. Okay. Good old 60k HP Diana right there. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, this is an easy victory for Lest and Mart is out. But also the difference in how high these guys are ranked. Mart's highest rank was 66, which is relatively not that high. They should do a losers bracket. Well, we're gonna need that for next match because next match is going to be Big V against Lest. Imagine all of these minus win Sonya traps. I haven't seen a single fucking Sonya all day. But we have seen some stuff that I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like Savannah first picks. Not necessarily saying like, hey, I would be doing that myself, but I can see the vibes. I can see the vibes. Same as a Water Gojo first pick. Wouldn't be seeing myself doing that, but it's a something. I guess it's his main counter against Irene. Also, if you have a Light Fern, why are you not drafting that shit more often? Lock it in. It's not bad. Well, there's still a Juno plus Aya option. But also, we have barely seen any Ayas in the first place. I think I've seen one Aya in all of China Day 2 so far. Which is not that much. Like in this matchup, normally I would Aya. I would hella Aya this. But the man goes for a Chow. What, to die into Stark? Also, if you remove that Oliver, isn't that the freest of Sonya hits I've seen in my goddamn freaking life? Sonya taking the Chow easy. Just Sonya that shit. Unless these guys have no Sonyas whatsoever, but that is the freest of Sonyas I've seen in my life. Layla is a good pick as well, to be honest. Still better be banning off this Oliver, though. Don't be respecting this Irene right now. Do not be respecting that. But then again, I think that on the other side, Layla's probably banned. Did the Sonya nerf put that much fear into them or something? I have no clue. Maybe they just don't have the room quality for good Sonyas. I don't know. Because I do know, for example, like Tars and stuff, they would definitely be smacking in Sonyas, 100%. Like Tars, Kanjing, they would be Sonya in these kind of drafts all the time. No Hardies for Sonya? Well, yeah, well. At least Sonya doesn't need that much of Hardies. Nah. Okay, I guess. Wait. You have HP the Okeanos. These plays are all over the place, man. How much attack should a decent Sonya be? At least 2k, but preferably like 2.2, 2.3. Rakuni plus Chow Snipe is better than Sonya Snipe. Exactly. Exactly what we're looking at. Well, you could not have sniped out an Okeanos, but then might as well start drafting like weird shit like, I don't know, Water Series, I don't know. But maybe this Chow is actually doing it. This Chow might actually be doing it. It's not bad damage on the Chow. Rain of Stones. Yeah, that doesn't add that much without any artifacts. I'm surprised you like a Gojo on water if you don't have artifacts. Good additional turn right there. You might be winning this on the Proc Raid City. Gojo's his only artifacts. It's still not that much. 3k on a crit, like that's... yeah. Wait, he's gonna boost up the Chow again, right? Yeah, these, like even this Gojo doesn't have that much of artifacts. Like you get 70% from defense. That thing should be hitting way more. Maybe Star can do something on this match, but that's pretty much the only unit that can still do something. At least Stark doesn't need artifacts. At least not as much. Good stun. No procs. How much damage is this? Decent damage. If you can rotate the stun one more time, stuns again. Yeah, who needs artifacts when you have right RNG? Say that to Benny. Oh, this thing gonna proc. I've seen the vision. This thing gonna proc. Team up with self. Wait. How do you team up with the Gojo? How do you team up with this Gojo? I'm not understanding this game anymore. I've seen so many freaking team ups from Aragorn with things that I'm like, I'm questioning life choices right now. How much base attack does this Gojo thing even have? Like, sure, you're not gonna go full attack on your Stark. It doesn't have as much scaling for it, but you still want to kind of like side-eye a bit of attack for your skill 1. Because that one is pretty hefty on the attack scaling still. We have Icon going to the next match. Nah, brother. 648. How much is Stark? How do you get more attack on the 648 versus a 714? That is actually an insane amount. If you add percentage numbers to it. Attack RD. Yeah, imagine adding attack RDs on that shit. Holy fuckerinos. Stark has no attack scaling? No, Stark has attack scaling. Stark actually has pretty decent attack scaling. Skill 1 is a lot more on attack. Skill 2 is a little bit of attack. But both of them have attack. Ooh, okay. Kovaci once got first pick. Shinxa, early pick? I don't know. I have no clue about the Shinxa early pick. It's understandable against a Gojo, though. Gojo is kind of messed up by the Shinxa, but it's not that bad. Also, Gojo first pick is kind of interesting. Ooh, Big V has a lore. I did not even know that. Big V has a good bit of LDs, though. To prevent this Fire Stark. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I think Big V definitely will have a good bit of artifact damage on those first 3 units. Plus, once again, Lest is kind of giving the first turn to the enemy. Also, the pairs with Kovaci just don't add up. Because you have a Kovaci on an HP scaler, which doesn't add anything. And we have Kovaci on a Shinxa scaler, which is not that crazy as well. Nephthys plus Zyros. Could be a thing, could be a thing. The Kovaci should be fast enough to outspeed those things, though, but Masha plus Laura is always dangerous. Sekhmet, are you really gonna go in for with a single speed lead? I kinda did like the Nephthys idea, though. And a Chow on the other side, okay? Imagine winning SWC and only displays rank 3. Is what it is, is what it is. Is the Chow the pick you want to go for? Chow does counter most of enemy draft, though. Do we respect them Chows? Do we respect them Marshas? Or do we remove other things? Yep, we do exactly respect those two. Now the big question is, Gojo Laura, are you going to do enough damage? And is this Sekhmet even a good pick? That's... Kovaci was definitely crazy fast. But also this Gojo is seemingly Vio or Despair. Does actually connect, that's good. Shinxa Angela clears this for real. I do kind of expect that as well. Also, the Vio kind of has a free match. That's proper damage, though. It is Vio. Not the biggest offense. I have Vio myself, but yeah, that's some more proper damage right there. You kind of have to send the S2. Doesn't send S2. Why would you send S1? You get clan stuff anyways. Might as well send a... Oh, damage. What the fuck was ever that? Laura only did 1.6k. True, like the Gojo did good damage, but the Laura damage was kind of mid. That's true, that's true. Okay, the potential's there. You have to send this S2 for potential pushback or stun on this Kovaci. Ooh, doesn't lose the unit on it though. Do not send an AoE, you die. Just go for skill 1. Thank you. Okay, option is still there. At least his steel line has good damage. The Gojo seems to be like a damage dealer as well. The Laura damage is kind of mid. Double resisted, but therefore you do get your skill up again, which is not the worst. You want to be sending this S2. You definitely do want to be sending this S2. Thank you. Oh, that's also a good option for an S2. You are def broken though. Would you opt it for a... Yeah, it's an option, is an option. Does do a little bit more damage, does get countered, does get killed off. Makes sense, makes sense. Do you reset Bayek right now, or do you go Angela? I think Bayek's skills are pretty low on cooldown anyways. Shinx is not really participating with his stunts. We go for 16 Laura sleeps. Okay, never mind. Not as much as of yet. Also, this Shinx is not really looking that strong. I don't know. Ooh, can't connect them stunts. I think you sent S2 here, right? S3 seems daunting to use, but if you get good stunts, S2 is just so much better. Or you do both. Who knows? Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? Well, in the end, yeah, the additional damage was there this time around. Oh, if the Bayek proxy is back in his 3? No Bayek proc. Was close though. Starting a new account after not playing for years. Feng Yang, Tasher, Rika, Net 5 selectors. Do you think you can always just simply go for a Amber? Amber's always a good pick. Wait, are we DCing? Nope, not really. I agree. I agree. Yeah, he had good damage on that Gojo. Fire Gojo in the end did work out for him. Taking his time with his picks. Big V has done that twice right now, where he locks in 2 units, takes them away, and then still locks in the same 2 units. First pick Viva's peak, unless it is Vio. This thing is for sure Vio. I'm liking the bike. The bike has done a lot of work for Lest so far. I wouldn't be against the Gianna, even though the combo with the Gojo is not the craziest. Because so far, nothing on the field really does counter Gianna super hard. Well, you do have 2 cleanses, which wouldn't be that bad. Duman. If Big V lands everything, he could be looking at a good match. But then again, Les, do you have still Athena ruined or something? Athena would definitely be a nice unit right now. Same for Josephine. William Slasher, aka Zenitsu on water. Is there a counter from the Karma from Duman? Well, it's not the Karma that's the issue, it's the 3rd skill. But there's a counter, it's called Shield. Because the, whatever it's called, thing still has to go through a shield first. That's a good Layla pick right there. Is that a Layla pick on the ban on the Bayek? Or are we respecting this Zenitsu? Other side, probably respect on the Layla or the Duman. Immunity also, like, you cannot send anything through immunity, that's true. Or you kill her, that's also a way. Resistance, very good counter. Just sack your way through. Will we boost up the Gianna right now? That's the big question. Okay, that did not really work out as planned. You kind of want to have this S3 on the Bayek rather than anything. Ooh, okay. Did work out. Okay, that's a nice land right there. Do you send S2, S3 right now? Just straight S3, okay. Is an option. Gojo did get his own stun right there. Yeah, the Quillian Slasher will definitely take a few bits of turns. Thing is, Doomon is kind of a sitting duck right now, just waiting for the skills to go off. Ooh, once again, great stun on this Gojo. Will he send a skill 3? It would kill himself. Yeah, it would definitely kill himself, but you also take out this Gianna. One less problem. Plus, the damage output on the side of Big V is not super high. Guess you have to send the S2. Does send it. Double counter. Get stunned. Doesn't land its own skills, though. Does connect Karma, but it's not really a big issue to just simply monkey as one. Resisted on the defense break right there. Yeah, I think that the Quillian Slash is taking over this match right now. Okay, at least we can go for another skill 3 on the Duman. Duman might actually have a good match. You have to throw this on the Quillian Slasher. Ooh, Monkey, really? Quillian Slasher takes so many more turns, plus that unit's heavily dangerous. Great chance for a cleanse, though. I think he's undervaluing this Quillian Slasher. The Quillian Slasher is actually the one that's fucking him up, not the Monkey as much. Okay, maybe he's getting fucked up by both, in all honesty. Duan's doing a lot of works. But if you skill 4, is that counting as a skill? And therefore the karma fucks you up? Probably it is. Oh, that despair stunts! That despair stunts! The 1 HP, the despair stunts! Well, Gojo is bio as well, though. Doesn't take it out, gets additional turn, wastes additional turn, but the S2 is available. Do you do it, though? Think you do it. Does send it? If the Gojo procs right now, Gojo could win this. Gojo doesn't get proc. Oh, this match is actually close as fuck, though. I think that... oh, that death break, though. This thing is definitely on Swift, so that thing is a goodbye. Gojo skills available, so you just... Why would you even do that? You could have stolen... You could have stolen the speed buff. You could have not stunned it. Why are we proccing out on everything? What is this back and forth? What's going on? Suddenly this Gojo's proccing for every goddamn match known to mankind. What the fuck was the ending on that match? What the... no. That was a weird shit, man. Once again, going for this Daisy Zhongshan Lao comp. I kind of like it, but I'm also not sure if I really like it. We have seen this Chiwo do massive damage. It's definitely crit damage for Chiwo. Just feels such a weird draft on this Fever Gel once again. It's the Fever Gel against, like, whatever. Ah, Fever Gel. Okay, one of the very few Nobaras we've seen today. I think it's legit the second Nobara I've seen today. Chao first pick. I haven't seen Chao first pick in ages. And I don't think we're going to see any of those. It's going to add it in with a Juno or something. Might be decent. Might be kind of rough, but is doable. Irration. Oh, last pick. Ah, okay. It's decent. No, I don't like Chao right now on the 5th. It's got to be an auto pick. Could have been. Let's see if the... Oh, no, wait. We're not going to see the timer because we see a shared timer right now. Otherwise, if the timer was 15 on the side of Icon, it could have been a auto pick, yeah. I'm liking his Athena on the 5th. Could have also went for another fire unit, yeah. That's definitely a thing. Because there's that much wind on the side of Icon. We are still respecting Ayas. Does kind of make this Chiwo in an off position as well. Unless this Chiwo, weirdly enough, is faster than the Athena, but that's super rare. Nope, not in this one. Also, this Daisy Zhongshan combo is pretty fast. Which means if you were to ban off this Daisy, Zhongshan would have been on a bad rotation. I don't know if Chakra, just speed, HP, HP, or speed, HP resistance. Despair will, despair seal. Uh-oh. Zhongshan doing Zhongshan things. That's a massive damage. But I see more massive damage coming in. Uh-oh. Half team might be dead. If you land crits through this glancing, match is instantly over. See if you can proc. Why would you not send the S2? No, I like the enemy Athena alive. I like it better that way. It's fine. It's like, I don't mind that. Also, why are we not cleansing off all of those debuffs from this Athena that's nearly dying? It's fine. It's fine. Surely we can kill that Athena at any given moment, right? Surely we can let that live. Surely it's not going to kill us instantly in one hit at some point. I have no clue what we're doing over here. Yeah, anti-cleanse. Oh, that's true. You could have done that in the last round and then actually killed because of no healing coming in just yet. But no, the anti-cleanse actually does make sense. That's true. That's true. But we also could have seen a dead Athena by now already for a long shot. Okay. Ooh, switch on the Stark. Wait, do we boost the Athena enough? Can he... Ain't no way you're dying to this, man. Start killing the Athena! Fuck! Nah, we let her alive for another turn, man. We gotta deal with this Megumi. I hate this Megumi, man. Athena's gonna Psycho S2, S3, kill my whole fucking team, but I really hated that Megumi. Fuck that Megumi. No. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, I like to leave my Athena alive on the enemy team with a defense break brand and then 16 other fucking units. Okay. Okay. Oh, now you kill it. It's a little bit late, mate. That's a little bit late right there. Yeah, Athena did not just full HP or like half of your units or something. I don't know. So, wow. And then we would blame the procs. The procs made it where you lost. You had 16 chances to kill that Athena. Procs were the issue. Is he deciding right now with which skill he wants to kill it? I don't know. Is Mortera good on AD or fake? Pretty fake. You prefer to have an actual healer. It's only good against the dot team, but then you're open to 16 other teams. Procs better than misplays? Yup. So these units are definitely fast on the side of Icon. Because they're tuned towards like a fast high Via. Daisy doesn't give a shit about Hey Gang, right? Let's see if Lucky Sound got the memo on that. To Tian Lang. Not too bad. You know what I would really like in my life right now? Godforsaken fucking Sonya. Well, to be honest, do I? It's only there to snipe out the Quillian Slasher, though. Well, it's also to snipe out potentially on the Hey Gang, which would not be that bad. Ooh. It leaves you open with only one speed lead, though, and the one speed lead might be a little bit bad, because that's a ban on Chiwo in my books. On the other side, it might be a ban on that Gojo, though, and then I'm not sure if this Laura's gonna outspeed the Songshilao Daisy combo. A little bit of a weird draft on both final picks, I would say. Because if Chiwo's gone, and Gojo is gone, I do actually expect this Daisy Songshilao to outspeed. But then again, would you go for exactly those two bans? We go for exactly those two bans. So now the big question, is this Laura faster or is the Daisy Songshilao faster? I think the Daisy Songshilao is faster. Nice, Hey Gang, brother. Nice, Hey Gang, brother. Someone did not get the memo on that one. Yep, I've seen the combo before. He has been doing this a few times. Okay, we'll make it work. Okeanos will also proc after this. We'll make it work. If you don't draft right, you just gotta sack right. Oh, the Okeanos did not proc, though. Well, then again, there's not that much follow-up right now. Yeah, as long as the Valeska doesn't take a turn. Bringing Hey Gang into Daisy is the best thing you can do in life. It is the best thing you can do in life. Why does this work? Okay, the only kill you can make right now is the Daisy, but you want to go for this. Yeah, you just proc more, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine, we just do it like this. Well, rip Mr. Icon. Dark Zenny still OP. It's a Dark Zenny next to a Tian Lang and it does fine. What is everyone bitching about that the unit is like, can't draft it anymore, it's shit. Well, I guess so. It's very shit. That's why it's winning the match right now. And we got Yondog with a primer. Thank you very much. Unplayable unit. Absolutely could not win that match against Songshilao right there. Terrible unit. Well, also I would say the Valeska 5th pick was pretty ass. Because why would you Valeska 5th pick over there where you already have AoE set up CC? Like, by all means, drop in a fucking Theor in 5th and you smack everyone. And Valeska doesn't do shit over there. At least if you land your skills properly. And the enemy doesn't proc out. But Valeska in the turn that she took did not add much at all.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.